Good morning and welcome to Lakewood Next Daily Devotions. My name is Scott and I'm with you all week. And we began yesterday talking about the kingdom of God or the kingdom of heaven. And I want to share with you today from Matthew chapter 13, just a few verses together starting in verse 31. It says, "And Jesus put another parable before them saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed that a man took and sowed in his field. It is the smallest of all seeds, but when it has grown, it is larger than all the garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and make nest in its branches." He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God is like leaven that a woman took and hid in 3 measures of flour until it was all leavened. So in this passage, as Jesus begins to teach about the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of God, he says it's like a grain of mustard seed, which was a very small seed, and yet it grew to be larger than the other garden plants. And he talked about the kingdom of God is like leaven that you would put into flour, and as you would work that flour, the leaven would work its way throughout all of the flour. And the point would be that the kingdom of God, this is a picture of how the kingdom of God operates, the way that it functions, the way that it grows in a surprising way, that it spreads in a surprising way, that it works its way throughout the fabric of our lives and the lives of other people. I would also say that this teaching of Jesus tells us that the kingdom many times is subtle. It works from within. It's sneaky, if you will, in a good way. I think you could say that the kingdom of God is not flashy. The kingdom of God is not loud. It's not dominating. So as Jesus begins to teach us about the kingdom of God, one of the things I would want to draw out to you is this: the kingdoms of this world and the kingdom of God are very different. They're very, very different. As a matter of fact, I would say this: we should be very careful about trying to make the kingdom of God look anything like the kingdoms of this world. The kingdom of God is not about control. The kingdom of God is not about force. The kingdom of God is not about manipulation. Now, as I list these things, think about the fact that these things represent what the kingdoms of this world are about. They're about control. They're about force. They're about manipulation. The kingdoms of this world are about money, and they're about politics, and they're about greed, and they're about deceit. And it doesn't mean that the kingdoms of this world don't do anything good. But when you were to break down what the kingdoms of this world are about, you would see these kinds of things: control and force and manipulation and money and politics and greed and deceit. But the kingdom of God is a completely different thing. The kingdom of God and the kingdoms of this world are very different. The kingdom of God is more subtle. The kingdom of God is about sacrifice. The kingdom of God is about surrender. The kingdom of God is about love. The kingdom of God is about forgiveness and authenticity and compassion. And we could go on and on and on. And I just want you to hear this morning. The kingdom of God, of which you and I are a part of, and the kingdoms of this world are very different. They're very different. And we should be very careful about trying to act like those things are in any way similar. They're not. The kingdom of God, which Jesus has called us to, and He's teaching us about right now, is a very different thing. And it's something that you and I should be the most committed to. And we'll talk more about that later.